The first time Miss Elgin called Jamari slow. The room cracked with laughter, but he didn't even flinch. Just stared down at his paper, like the numbers were crawling off the page. It wasn't the first time she humiliated someone, but this time, something was different. The way her voice sliced through the silence, cold and dismissive. Some kids just aren't built for this kind of thinking. She didn't even say his name, just pointed with the red tip of her pen, like he was a stain on her lesson plan. Jamari sat in the back row, hoodie up, sleeves pulled over his hands, head ducked like he was trying to disappear into the desk. He'd been held back once. Quiet, kept to himself. Folks whispered about his mom being sick, his dad locked up, but none of that mattered in room 3B. In there, Ms. Elgin ruled with sarcasm and smugness, and Jamari was her favorite punching bag. She wrote the problem on the board with a smirk, a twisted mess of variables, square roots, and logic gates. "Since you're so bored back there, Jamari," she said loud enough for the hallway to hear, "why don't you come solve this?" The class erupted. Phones slid out. Cameras clicked on. This was going viral. He didn't move. Not right away. Then, slowly, Jamari stood up. The room shifted. Not because anyone expected him to get it right, but because there was something in the way he walked. Calm, unbothered, like this wasn't about the math, like he'd already seen the outcome. He took the dry erase marker from her hand without looking at her. The class quieted. Phone still up, but no one laughed now. Not with the way he scanned the equation. Not with the way he uncapped that marker. With a single flick, he started writing. Not solving, writing. Definitions, substitutions, variables rewritten in terms of others. Some of the kids squinted, some snickered, but one by one, even the jokes died out, because what he was doing didn't look random, didn't look stupid. It looked like strategy, like understanding. He wasn't just answering the problem. He was reconstructing it, breaking it down like an architect peeling back drywall. Ms. Elgin's face twisted, first in confusion, then irritation. She crossed her arms. "You don't have to show all that, just get to the answer," she snapped. Jamari didn't respond. He just kept writing, hands steady, eyes sharp. A few desks up, Darnell leaned forward, whispering to Kayla, "Yo, he's actually doing it." Kayla nodded, her phone trembling in her hand. "I've seen that problem before. It's from a math Olympiad. My brother couldn't even solve it." Jamari paused, then circled something, then underlined, then stepped back. The board was full. Letters, numbers, symbols in perfect alignment. And at the bottom, boxing with a thick rectangle. Was the solution? Silence. Ms. Elgin blinked. She looked at the board, then back at him. "That's not correct," she said quickly, her voice tight. "That's not how you're supposed to solve it." But she didn't erase it, didn't go near it. Just stood there like the marker had burned her hand. A voice piped up in the front, "David, the honors kid." "No, that's actually right. That's exactly right." Heads turned. Murmurs rippled. Jamari didn't say a word. Just walked back to his seat, hoodie still up, and sat down. Like it didn't matter. Like he hadn't just flipped the room upside down. Ms. Elgin stood frozen at the front, lips pressed in, eyes darting toward the classroom door like she was hoping a fire drill would save her. After class, kids crowded around Jamari. He kept his head down, only looked up when Kayla asked, "Where'd you learn to do that?" He hesitated, then said, quietly, "I used to help my mom when she was studying for her degree, before she got too sick." Then he left. But that night, something strange happened. The video hit TikTok, then Instagram, then Twitter. Over 1 million views in less than 24 hours. Comments flooded in, people praising him, questioning the teacher, tagging news stations. But the next morning, when the bell rang and room 3B filled up again, Jamari's seat was empty. And Ms. Elgin? She was gone too. Principal's office locked. Substitute teacher in her place. No explanation, no warning. And taped to Jamari's desk was a torn sheet of notebook paper. One line scribbled in black ink. "They know what I did. I think they're watching me now." The substitute was this wide-eyed young guy who looked like he wasn't prepared for much more than recess duty, let alone the fallout of a viral scandal. He fumbled with the attendance sheet while the class buzzed, not about the math lesson, but about where the hell Jamari went. Kayla kept glancing at the empty seat. Darnell whispered across to David, "You think he really got snatched or something?" David didn't answer. He was staring at his phone, scrolling through the comments under the video. One stuck out. A profile with no picture, no followers, just a comment that read. He wasn't supposed to solve that. Nobody knew what that meant. But that afternoon, Kayla found something in her locker. A flash drive. No name. Just taped to the inside of her door with a strip of black duct tape. She almost left it there. Almost. But curiosity beat caution, and that night, in her room with the door locked, she plugged it into her laptop. The screen flashed. A folder opened. Inside, scanned notebooks. Dozens of them. Pages and pages of math problems, theories, handwritten formulas, some in languages she couldn't recognize, and a video file, titled Confirmation. She clicked. The video was grainy, shot from a low angle, probably hidden in a hoodie or jacket. It showed a man, early 40s, pale, sharp-suited, standing at a whiteboard in a dark room. Behind him was a logo, Echelon Institute of Advanced Intelligence. The man spoke with clip precision. The problem was seeded into public schools to identify cognitive outliers. If a student solves it, flag them, detain them, re-educate if possible, recruit if necessary. Kayla's heart pounded. She paused it, rewound, played it again, detain them. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Jamari's seat still sat empty. Ms. Elgin's name was removed from the staff directory. David pulled Kayla aside. "You saw it, didn't you?" he asked. She blinked. "How'd you?" "I found the same flash drive, same video." He showed her the drive hanging from his keychain. "This is bigger than a math test." By lunch, 5 students had gotten the drive. All kids who were known for being sharp, quiet, overlooked. All of them were on edge. Darnell, who never even liked Jamari, admitted he found a man watching their school from across the street yesterday. Bald, black suit, mirrored sunglasses. When he got too close, the man vanished into a black sedan. That afternoon, Kayla got a text from an unknown number. "Meet me behind the science wing. Don't bring your phone." Her instincts said no, but her gut said Jamari. So she slipped out just after the final bell, heart thudding, breath shallow. The wind was sharp, leaves skipping across the concrete. She turned the corner, and there he was, Jamari, hoodie up, eyes tired but focused. "Are you okay?" she whispered. He shook his head slowly. "No, but I'm safe for now." She wanted to cry, wanted to hug him, but he stepped back. "I don't have much time." He handed her another notebook, this one different, worn, edges torn, pages dog-eared. They're watching the kids who got the problem right. But there's another layer. The equation is not just math. It's a code, coordinates, dates, a warning. Kayla opened it. The first page was covered in symbols she didn't recognize, until Jamari pointed to one. That's a date, June 12th. What's happening on June 12th? Jamari looked up, eyes burning with something deeper than fear. They're activating something. In every major city. Something tied to education systems, mental profiling, predictive behavior models. This wasn't about math. It was about control. A sound, tires screeching. Jamari's head jerked up. "They found me." He pressed the notebook into her hands. "You have to go. Keep it safe. Don't trust anyone, especially not the school." Then he ran. She started a chase, but black SUVs turned the corner. Blacked out windows, no plates. She ducked behind the dumpster, notebook clutched tight, breathing hard. 2 men stepped out, suits, earpieces. One knelt, touched the ground. He was just here. The other spoke into a device. "Subject Bravo Echo 7 is mobile. Engage contingency." They got back in the vehicle and peeled off. Kayla didn't move, not for a long time. That night, she met with David and the others. They decided one thing. They wouldn't run. They'd find out what was really going on. They'd finish what Jamari started. But the next morning, Kayla got to school early and found David's locker ripped open, notebooks gone, flash drive shattered, and spray painted on the inside in red. "You've been marked." Kayla stood in front of David's locker, heart hammering as the red spray paint bled through her vision like it was aimed right at her. "You've been marked." The hallway was eerily quiet for a Tuesday morning, but she didn't need sound to feel the tension pressing down on her chest. David didn't show up that day. None of the others did either. One by one, the students who received that flash drive had vanished, some sent home, some suddenly transferred, and one kid's parents swore he'd been suspended, except no one could find a record of it. Kayla knew she was running out of time. She skipped third period and headed straight to the back stairwell, the place where she and the others used to meet. But this time, she wasn't alone. A woman stood there, olive skin, slicked back silver streaked hair, and a long tactical green trench coat. Her presence was calm, coiled, dangerous. "I'm Marina Vale," she said quietly. "I worked with Jamari's mother before she was silenced." Kayla's eyes widened. "Silenced?" Marina nodded. "What you've uncovered is just a thread. The full fabric goes deeper. Federal agencies, private contractors, tech firms testing algorithms through public schools. That math problem? It wasn't about solving. It was about identifying minds capable of pattern disruption. Disruption? Kayla asked. Marina looked her square in the eye. People like Jamari don't just solve equations. They see what they weren't supposed to. Predict systems. Outthink machines. The government doesn't know what to do with them, so they isolate them or erase them. Kayla swallowed. Then what do we do? Marina handed her a phone. We broadcast the truth. It was already cued. A full-length video. Jamari speaking into the camera in a dim, flickering room. Behind him, dozens of pages hung on the wall like puzzle pieces. "This is Jamari," he said. "If you're seeing this, I'm either gone or still running. The problem I solved unlocked something. Files, coordinates, project logs from a covert program called Sapphire Grid. They're mapping student cognition to predict future threats. They found I didn't just understand a problem. I broke through their firewall. I saw everything." The screen cut to Marina's voice overlaying footage of men in black suits, schools with high-level security cameras, and coded transmissions between school administrators. Kayla uploaded it. Everywhere. YouTube, Reddit, Discord, private school networks. Within 12 hours, it hit 3.2 million views. By the next morning, the news was flooded with coverage. Viral school conspiracy exposed as government surveillance of gifted teens, but the official statements came fast and scripted, fabricated, AI-generated footage, misinformation from a radicalized group. But the damage was done. Parents started pulling their kids from schools. Investigators showed up. Lawsuits were filed. Then Principal Garrison disappeared. Kayla walked past his empty office a week later and saw the door wide open, files scattered like someone left in a hurry, or was taken in one. And then Jamari came back, not to school, but one evening, Kayla was sitting on her front steps, notebook in her lap, trying to piece together the last of the coordinates when a voice behind her whispered, "Page 22. That's where the failsafe is." She turned. Jamari stood there, hoodie up, smiled tired but alive. "You're back," she breathed. He nodded. "They know I'm not alone now." That changed everything. She stood, holding the notebook like it was the key to something bigger. "What now?" Jamari looked at the stars overhead, like they held the rest of the answer. "Now we find the others." "And?" she asked. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Now we teach them what impossible really means." Hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories that matter. And let's keep the conversation going.